weapon customization could be coming to Helldivers 2 and more crossovers may be in the works. We also have a lot more to discuss in today's video, so grab a hot cup of liberty and let's dive right into the video. To begin, we will first talk about a possible new crossover and then move on to other topics that's been mentioned, like the weapon customization feature. Now, did you guys know that the Ghost Ship game CEO recently visited the Arrowhead Team's studio? Before I mention anything further, they made the game Deep Rock Galactic. You know, the game where you fight as space midgets. Yes, rock and stone. Now, we know that this occurred recently as the game director Sefez brought it up in a response and mentioned this. The Ghost Ship game CEO was visiting us the other week. We did a lot of knowledge sharing. Would be awesome to do a collab with them. This is amazing to see since the game is awesome. Who does not like fighting as space midgets against God knows what? Rock and stone, brother. If you know, you know. Knowing we could see another crossover next year is so great. This would open up endless possibilities for Helldivers 2 with potentially many opportunities coming. Please, Terminator, Warhammer. Man, there's so many I'd love to see in this game. Imagine fighting a T-800. That would be scary as hell. We do know one thing. Johan mentioned in the past they are down for crossovers, as he put a post up some time ago, and honestly, just seeing this makes me so excited for 2025. 4 months ago, they did say this, that the game was not in a good spot basically, and they want to improve on it first before doing anything further. And now we are here, our first official crossover, Killzone. If you could see a crossover enter Helldivers 2, what would it be? Drop a comment below. This tells us Arrowhead are definitely moving things forward and we could expect more soon. Apparently Ghost Ship Games had emailed them in the past about collaborating together, so this could be on the horizon potentially for next year. This was mentioned in a stream around 9 months ago, I believe, so this gives us more context on this. We emailed Arrowhead a while back to say, hey guys, let's put our heads together and do something, but we haven't heard anything from them via email, so this is our next shot. We couldn't think of any other way to do it than to play their game live on stream and say, Arrowhead, what are you guys doing? Please answer our emails. Let's talk. Let's put our heads together and see if we can cook something up. So it's safe to say a crossover could be coming in the future. When? That's the massive question. I have thrown some links in the description in case any of you want to check this official information out for yourself. Moving on, we finally got our hands on the fast recon vehicle, and it's so sick. You can purchase the new stratagem at the terminal for 25,000 requisition slips on the Super Destroyer. The cooldown time is not bad at all. It's 480 seconds, so that's bloody awesome. Calling time is 10 seconds as well. Who's up for some illegal street racing on Super Earth? Count me in, okay? Count me in. You can call this in as much as you want to, which is amazing. Let me know below, have you tried this new vehicle out? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? This has been leaked for a long time, and the guys even said they probably would never ever include vehicles in the game due to the engine limitations. But I think they knew what they was doing. Like with the Luminant update, they just wanted to surprise us. I had a blast roaming around with it. It's great against the bugs since you don't get hounded with gunfire 24/7, so it will be useful with them in my opinion most of the time. The Wasp launcher also dropped too recently. I'm not going to go into much detail with that stratagem, but honestly, it's absolutely wild. Moving along, apparently Helldivers is actually getting a super credit buff. Johan responded to a player who said this in regards to super credits: I just wish I could earn it by playing high difficulties as usual instead of having to turn it into a lower difficulty grind. Will you for the uneven super credits earnings per difficulty, especially the higher end? Dude, I agree, but it's a bit too sensitive to rebalance it. I know our design director wants to change it, so we flipped it to make the highest difficulties pay the most, but The team can't stand another controversy, so it'll have to happen next year or later. Now, I agree with what he is saying. I mean, most people do go on lower difficulties to farm super credits. From this reply, it does not seem we will get a super credit buff until next year. It does not mean it won't happen, it just means they are thinking it through before they execute. Now, me personally, feel free to argue my point in the comments, but I think this would be a good idea and would not cause any problems because a lot of people was concerned they would not be able to get the crossover items due to not having enough super credits. So I think this super credit buff would be well received. Come on, more super credits means more war bonds, more weapons. Yes, please, for democracy. Having a new way to receive more super credits also would be amazing. I've said time and time again, having special orders, maybe from a Hellbot as mentioned in previous videos of mine, would be a good way of earning more super credits. Perhaps completing special objectives or completing in-game events would get you a higher payout of super credits. As always, let me know your thoughts below for democracy. Moving on to the big news, weapon customization. You don't want to miss this. Apparently, Arrowhead had weapon customization in the game previously before it was launched officially, but because it was not fully developed, they did not move ahead with it at the time. The good news is though, they might revisit this again in the future. There is a post on the Helldivers II Discord where a game director responded to a player who asked, if it's true, we will be receiving a weapon attachment system. We've had weapon customization in the game previously, but it wasn't fully developed at the time. We might revisit it in the future. Now, as you know, we do talk about leaks quite frequently on the channel, and we brought this leak up around 2 months ago, showing us different types of ACOG sights, red dots, and more. Here is the weapon customization menu, which Iron Sights leaked recently. It's not done completely yet, but it does show us they are working on it as of right now. This is positive though. I mean, I'd love to kit my weapons out for democracy. It would be literally insane. As you can see, there are options to choose from, swapping around ammo types, optics, magazines, just different attachments in general. If Arrowhead keeps at this cadence, we could see a full weapon customization feature at some point in 2025. Tier 5 NPC did actually also leak some weapons which seem to be customized already. Each weapon seems to be kitted out slightly differently, from ACOGs to bayonets. This is definitely one feature I'd love to see in Helldivers 2, and it just adds more variety to the game, which we all would love to see. Now, Tier 5 NPC did also go into more detail on an upgraded weapons bay. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with weapon customization or if it's something completely different, but I will go over it anyway. As it says here, then we also have our beloved Eagle one who might be getting her hanger upgraded. So I'm guessing this has nothing to do with the weapon customization feature. It's something completely separate. But I did think to myself, it would be absolutely awesome if you could upgrade your weapons bay to unlock different attachments, or maybe just upgrade the ones you have currently in the game. That is just an idea I have in mind. I do think this wouldn't be completely off the table, because at the moment we can obviously upgrade certain areas of our ship to improve stratagem reload times, the cooling durations, etc. Let me know for democracy, if you could have any attachments on your favorite weapon, what would it be? Me, probably incendiary rounds with a drum magazine and a huge ass bayonet. Lastly, we could see voice lines enter Helldivers 2 more in the future. It's just a matter of when. The reason to why we haven't seen many voice lines enter Helldivers 2 currently is because they mentioned this in the past. It's very expensive. A player did say this on the Discord, simply, we need more voice lines. It would be cool, but it is also a massive undertaking. Adding an extra voice means we need to hire a voice actor, a studio for recording it, record the voice actor saying all the existing voice lines, do that for all of the different languages we support, implement all the audio, implement all localized subtitles, QA test it all to make sure everything works, and probably a ton of other stuff I'm not aware of. It's not a cheap thing to do. So this will take time, and me myself, I didn't actually realise how much work goes into voice lines. May see it in the long run sometime later down the road in 2025. I mean, I'd love to see more voice lines in Helldivers 2, but the real question is, would you? let me know in the comments. Lastly, onto the top 3 comments of my previous video. Q says, so there are likely to be much larger units. Keep in mind, comparatively, Bile Titans are considered medium-sized enemies in Helldivers 1. If that is true, then that's going to be absolutely menacing and so scary, since Bile Titans are massive themselves. The Hive Lord is supposed to be much larger than the Bile Titan. Shadow Wolf says DSS should come with a 24-hour rotation of a free stratagem use we can all vote towards, non-repeating, so we can't reuse the same stratagem 48 hours in a row. Now I think that's a great idea. I'd love to see an orbital laser in rotation. That would be used a hell of a lot. Chase says, why am I concerned that every planet the Illuminant are on will turn into the Creek 2.0? Now I think many of us wouldn't even mind that, because the Creek is just a classic map. It's really awesome, so I don't think really any of us would complain. Now everyone, a full in-depth community comments will be featured in an upcoming video. Thank you so much for watching. You Helldivers are awesome. So guys, I just thought I'd take my phone out and just do a quick video. I wanted to say thank you so much. I'm just really grateful for everyone who tunes into these videos. Obviously, Helldivers 2 is one of my favorite games, and if you watch my content, it's probably one of your favorite games too. So have a great Christmas, okay? And democracy will prevail in Helldivers 2. Until next time, go and conquer the galaxy for managed democracy, and I will see you in the next video.